Hello everyone, my name is Volker Janssen. I am Professor of History here at Cal State Fullerton, and I'm your instructor in American Legal and Constitutional History, the class that you are currently visiting on Canvas. This is hopefully a brief video that will point out some of the highlights of this course so you don't get lost and find yourselves in trouble. This is important because unlike in a regular class, you can't see me after a lecture or a discussion and quickly check in on something. You would have to email me, and that takes initiative, and it's much easier after class to quickly check or ask someone who sits next to you. We don't have this benefit in this kind of class, so it's important that you listen at the beginning and understand what's important about this class so that you don't find yourselves in trouble or surprised later on. So the first thing you have to know about an asynchronous online course, it takes just as much time as any other class, maybe even more, because your participation and contribution does not ever happen orally where you can casually say something and then get the recognition for it. Everything has to be written down. That is the key way in which you can contribute here. And that's more labor intensive. You also still have readings and you have video lectures that come from me. So please do not think that you can squeeze this on top of a regular course schedule and full-time work or whatever else your completely relevant and important obligations are. You may not have time for this course, in which case you should withdraw before you have to pay for this, right? Because this costs you money, whether you pay out of pocket or through a loan. So the next thing I want you to know is that this asynchronous online course has a lot of writing submissions, as I said, but I am warning you to not fall into temptation and have Titan GTP do this. Not only do I see the difference between someone who actually engages with the material that's exclusive to this Canvas module and makes their own individual choices about quotations and page references and referencing minutes or seconds in the videos that I ask questions about. It also cheats you. So not only would this be a case of academic dishonesty, the use of Titan GTP, it would also really deprive you of what you pay money to be here for, right? Imagine you pay a gym membership and then come into the gym, switch on the treadmill, set it to 7 miles per hour, let it run for 50 minutes, sit next to it, and then walk out and say, I really got my money's worth for this gym membership. That would be stupid, right? I mean, you wouldn't do this. So you shouldn't do this with educating, training, building your intellectual capabilities either, right? Walking out of here having learned nothing and gotten a letter grade doesn't do anything for you. Eventually, people will find out that that letter brought you nothing, and so I urge you to not do this to yourself, not do it to us, because as an institution we are serious about academic dishonesty, but you also shouldn't do this to yourself. The next thing you need to know is that in this class, there's a required reading, and you can get it at the bookstore or buy it anywhere else. And if for some reason you are delayed in your purchase, I have uploaded the first 2 or 3 chapters of the textbook here in the syllabus under course required readings. So you can get started even if you don't have the book just yet. Next, the lineup of the course is strictly sequential. So you take this first module here where you listen to my introduction, then you have to go and look at a couple of items in the syllabus. I ask that you read and look at them before you are able to move to the first module. And the first module goes from 1A to the end before you can begin module 2. There is no skipping or jumping. So the bottom right button next is the only thing you really need for navigation. A lot of the grade, most of the grade, comes from very small assignments. A little quiz here, a little activity there, building a timeline, or connecting some dots, and then writing some feedback in each and every module. So it's about steady work over the course of the semester that gets you a good grade. If for some reason, and here we come to another important feature of this course, if for some reason you fall behind, I make a distinction between guide dates and deadlines. The deadline really, except for the introduction, I want you to introduce yourself to us early on in this course. Except for the introduction, almost all of it I will not penalize you for until the very end of the semester. But I would like you to still follow the guide dates so that you don't get yourself in trouble. I am treating you like an adult, so I am choosing to let you make a choice. If for some reason you say, I'm going to be late 2 weeks, but I know I can catch up, I will have the time, I'm giving you that freedom to do this without penalty. But you need to know that you can manage this because the work will be due at some point. So guide dates are the dates where you really should have this done, and the deadlines are when it has to be done. Otherwise, I can't give you a grade at the end of the semester. That makes sense, right? Okay. So asynchronous online course, it's serious business. Don't take it lightly. Don't commit academic dishonesty, and that importantly involves Titan GTP. I can tell the difference, and you are cheating yourself. This course works sequentially, so go from the intro module to every element of the syllabus before you begin your work, and then step by step, in small assignments, you make progress. One other thing I want to point out, I have a lot of my own videos in this class and guest speakers, as well as videos curated from online sources that I consider reliable and trustworthy. And each of these videos contain 1 or 2 passwords. So if you have 1 password, you still need to listen all the way to the end because you don't know whether the second one's coming. And you need to write all these words in sequence down, piece of paper, screen, whatever. And those words together make a sentence that says something about the lesson of the module. You take the first letters of each password, bring it together, non-capitalized, no spaces, and that's a code for one of the key activities in each module. So you cannot skip any video. You have to listen to everything I say. I know, that's horrible. That's worse than in a lecture class, right? Because you can zone out. Here, you can't zone out. So I hope this works for you. If it doesn't, you now have the possibility to make the choice and drop the class. I will not be cross, of course. People have their preferences, but this is what the class looks like. And if you're up for this, then I look forward to seeing your work. I look forward to seeing your email with any questions about content in my inbox. And of course, you always can see me in person in office hours on campus or via Zoom at campus. Right? So thank you for taking the time to listen to me. Thank you for listening to that other video. And later on, you will listen to an introduction of myself where I tell you why I'm an American history professor. And then you will listen to me throughout the semester. So thank you for your patience. I appreciate your commitment and for taking this class. So I'll see you around. Let's have a good semester, okay?